Will Nolan McLean and the Mets sweep the Guardians this afternoon on the road at 1:10 Eastern? Will Ranger Suarez shove tonight at Fenway for the bull market Bo Sox? Find out now on MLB Bases Loaded. A huge card on slate today.
15-game card. It's us versus the bookies. Bases loaded, high noon. It's going to be a showdown.
On a suddenly not so casual Friday, the buy hat is engaged. Two questions posed, answers to be found. It is Thursday, August the 6th, 2026. MLB Bases Loaded. I'm the Shark. He is Mikey Money. Mike, what's going on this morning?
Man, I'm fired up. We started a rollover challenge yesterday. We got the first leg home. We'll see if we can't find one today. But there's some great trends on the board. So, man, this should be a nice card. It's a little Thursday afternoon. It's the gateway to the weekend. And, man, I have a busy afternoon. So I'm looking forward to dropping some plays, putting some bets out there. I won't even be able to watch them. I'm just going to be coming back looking to see if I get some cash. But I'm fired up for this card, dude. There's, like I said, some great matchups. We got some new. Wait till you get this one trend I got for you guys here in relation to new pitchers. It's going to be so much fun to talk about this card.
Yeah, completely agreed. I took a loss yesterday betting almost every underdog. Mike and I were just discussing in the pre-show. Guys, sometimes in baseball you take dogs, the chalk hits. It's like watching the NCAA tournament. Coach K and Calipari stacking the teams, sweeping the board. But we get back in there. A lot of contrarian spots on the card today. Sharp card today, afternoon baseball. A lot of getaway games, movement after the trade deadline. If you guys are in the chat on the East Coast, hanging out on a Thursday, as Mike said, the gateway to the weekend. And if you guys are on the West Coast, get your coffee and let's talk some ball. It's suddenly not so casual. Thursday in August of 26. First game of the card, matinee baseball. Not waiting around. We're going straight back to Baltimore. Angels, Orioles, finishing up a series. Final game of the season between these two teams. Getaway game here, Mike. Orioles trying to complete the sweep. Brandon Young against Ryan Johnson. Market steaming heavy to Baltimore. What's going on in this game?
I'll tell you, just out of principle, I can't take the Orioles at this rate. I mean, what are we doing here? This team just traded. Now, the only thing I will say is that Rooshman had to be a piece of shit. And I think it's evidence in the fact that now we're seeing these boys tear it up. So, that being said, he's gone. He's, maybe he was cancerous. And, you remove the cancer and all of a sudden things loosen up and everyone's having fun again in the clubhouse. But you got the wind blowing out. That certainly is an element that I think is going to be problematic for Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson's 2-6 with a fucking 8 ERA. I can't get there either. It's just like, just out of principle, though, you want to lay this cash with Baltimore Orioles? Good luck on you then. I mean, that's one of those spots where I just can't. There's other spots on the card I like today. I would say dog or nothing here. Probably a look to the over as well. But it's like literally 50-50. This is one of those games where I hate to say it, but you just don't have to play it.
You don't have to, but I'm going to. And I think we got a nice little contrarian spot here at 12:35, ladies and gentlemen. Baltimore, Maryland, you guys are going to lose this afternoon. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be high scoring. Have the Angels at plus 180 on the money line. And, Mike, you talk about this guy, Ryan Johnson. Year one starter, bullpen last year, but he has looked terrible. So why are we backing him? Well, his only good start of the year was actually against the Baltimore Orioles. It was a home game on a Tuesday in June the 23rd. He went 6 innings, only 1 hit, 8 strikeouts in a 5-1 win. And Baltimore was favored in that game, minus 150 on the road with Shane Baz. Guys, little line functionality here. 150 road. This opened at 152 home. Why is it short? Brandon Young is too hot. Brandon Young, 5-0 in July. And you look at the Orioles here, and Young included in the conversation. This is the final game of a homestand. Played the Phillies, playing the Angels. They get on a plane after this game and go to Texas for their longest road trip of the entire season. 10-game trip spanning Friday through Monday, August 17th at Texas, Minnesota, and in the division at Tampa Bay. It's a complete trap. And you look at this particular series, we've actually tried to buy the Angels in the first 2 games. They lost both. They're getting outscored 8-3, but they're actually out hitting the Orioles in this series 15-10. So it's the same conversation just continued from yesterday. The Angels can outplay the Orioles in this spot. And final point on this, the only really terrible start that Brandon Young had all year at home was a Thursday matinee back in April against a team from the AL West as a significant favorite, the Houston Astros. He was horrible in the game. 10 runs, 11-5 loss against the Astros before the Orioles went on a long road trip. It's the same spot. You want to sell Young in this spot. It's a funky dog. And Mike, I think we're going to see runs in this game. You made a comment on that, but leaning towards the over as well?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, look, the elements kind of point to it, right? And you got a 9.5. So 7, 9s, and 11s being the key numbers. You're seeing 9.5. Probably see some runs. My only problem with the runs, I think, well, listen, if you get the runs, there's a problem, right? But that's a different story. My thought process there was, you got to get a lot of runs out of this fucking Baltimore offense. Their team totals like 5.5. And then you got to depend on the Angels. And I'll go back to it again. Can I just get this off my chest, Shark? Is it okay? Is it okay? Are we in the trust tree here? We're in the lab.
I have absolutely no idea what you're going to say, but yes, I open floor.
Mike Trout is a fucking bitch, dude. And they asked him again yesterday. They said, dude, now that the team's traded up or now that the team's selling, the expectations for the postseason are off the table. Does it make you change your opinion on whether or not you should have moved? And he said, no, I like it here. In other words, let me decode what he said there. No, I'm a fucking bitch. I don't want the pressure. And at the end of the day, just leave me in the shadows of the Los Angeles Dodgers where there's zero expectations for me to do anything. And I'll thrive and survive in that situation. Bottom feeder mentality, dude. Fuck the Angels. Fuck Mike Trout.
I agree. I mean, I'm disappointed in Mike. I don't know him personally, but I would tell him to sit down, my son. Take a breath. You're letting us all down. I mean, come on, man. You don't want to win a title? You don't want to compete? You don't want to go to the playoffs? Like, he's cool with that? Just his entire career not going to the playoffs? I mean, it is just absolutely weak stuff from Mike. But, as I said, I don't expect Young to perform this afternoon. And Johnson, I think, will struggle to a certain degree. His daytime ERA is 8.8. But guys, as we always say, when you're cashing MLB tickets, you don't need to have a one-sided blowout in this game. I see a crazy one. I see the Angels winning this game somewhere in the range of like 8-7 or something really kind of wild. Anyway, great stuff at 12:35. Not going to be a lot of people in the stadium. That's why you watch Bases Loaded. We make small-time games feel big-time. We love to do it. If you guys are in the chat, tell us what you think. You backing the Angels with us? Backing the over? Take the over in the Angels. Let's cash and let's keep it moving. Next game of the card, more afternoon baseball. Going back to Cincinnati. Equally anecdotal baseball here. Athletics Reds. If I was going to pick two teams and say what is really kind of the least inspiring, lacking rivalry type of matchup in the sport, I mean, I would take these two teams. They really could give two craps about playing each other. Now you get this guy Barnett on the bump at a no-name guy. Oh, wait, no, not a no-name guy. Andrew Abbott on the bump, Mike. We got Skeens yesterday. Now we get Abbott, 1-1A. What's going on in this game?
It's tough. This is a tricky one, too, because I like Andrew Abbott, but not today. Today, I think you got to take advantage of the other side of this thing here. I think you look at it and you say, first of all, sharp perspective betting information coming in, firing on the Athletics. Mason, Barnett, they're bad. The Athletics are a bad team here, but shockingly, not all of my takes are good. And, my Andrew Abbott thought process compromised. -167, now -158 on the red side of things here. But told you, that C for the Cincinnati Reds is a sideways horseshoe, and it's up everybody's ass. How long are you going to stay lucky out there? I'll take the Athletics with this price. I'll back the sharp perspective bettors here. The total's coming down as well. So if we're going to see, it starts at 9.5, it's moving to 9s. Now we're seeing some 8.5s out there. I think it's just too much of a price for me to pass up and, taking a shot here, riding with the, plus you look at this run line, +1.5s. you're really in a situation where they're saying, this could be a tighter game. And if it's a tighter game, give me some plus money. I'll take a bomb. I'll take a shot. And it's the Athletics, not my favorite spot to take a shot, but they do excel against lefties. So I'll give them that. I'll give them that shot here. It's just too easy to say pass on the Athletics today.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I mean, it's funny because you've been backing Andrew Abbott all year. I have been not on the fan club of Andrew Abbott, but it's actually kind of coming the direction of what I've been saying all year. This guy doesn't pitch well at home. He's actually 0-4 last 4 at home. Couple divisional games recently, Pittsburgh and the Cubs, but he did lose as a favorite to the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is just a funky spot. I don't like Abbott in this spot. Scrappy A's. We're looking at these games at the early hour on a Thursday. I always go back to about a month ago when Christopher Sanchez was laying like 300 at the Royals and lost by like 15 runs. It's craziness. It's afternoon baseball. It's getaway games. Take the dog. Let's cash, Mike. And we got a great video.
We appreciate all you guys checking in with us here today. We try to do this with you guys on the reel, the most insightful information we can bring to you guys to try to help you make an informed betting decision. And if you enjoy the content, whether you're watching us live or you're catching us on the replay, smash that thumbs up button, show some appreciation, and comment, of course, post-show. We love the comments. Try to engage and interact with every one of you guys that drops your plays, your best bets, your favorite spots on the card. We love to see them. We love to hear them. We love to track them along and see where you guys are winning as well. So much appreciation. Shark, that looks better now.
Yeah, appreciation is appreciated. Guys, we're giving you an opportunity to front door the show. Come out with a heater in the first quarter for us. Hit the like button. We love you guys. Help us out. It helps to spread the show. And let's continue to talk some afternoon ball. Next game on the card, 1:10 in Cleveland. Mets Guardians. Closing up a series here. Also interleague baseball, final game of the year. Nolan McLean at Foster Griffin. Mike, Foster Griffin getting traded from the Nats to the Guardians. Now he's got to start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know. What do you think about this game?
I'm taking him. Dude, I'm going with the Guardians here. I've been zagging. I've been zigging and zagging here. I've been Mets. I thought the Guardians in the first game of the series had a good look at it. They shit the bed. I jumped on the Mets yesterday because the entire planet was on the Guardians. Yesterday was one of those days where if you guys – they say, oh, the public wins too. The public wins too. Listen, yesterday was one of those days where like everybody was on these spots and they just all got torched, right? I mean, up and down the card, you name it. There was just some ugliness out there. And yesterday the public was fired on the Guardians. That was a Mets day. Today, though, a different story. Slight favorite in Foster Griffin. And, the Nolan McLeans here, the New York McLeans, as we've called them here on the show before. Situationally speaking, 7-7, but dude, I want Foster Griffin in this spot. I like the new pitcher coming in. There's another spot that I'll talk to you guys about later down the card here, but from a baseball perspective right now, I think the Guardians have to step the fuck up. You got the bats. You're playing the shittiest team in baseball in the New York Mets. And look, the only thing that could make the Mets even worse is if they ended up getting Mike Trout. And we know he's not going to go to a big city like the New York, the Big Apple. So I'm going to fade the Mets, though. Closing out trying to avoid getting swept on top of that here. The home team with the expectations post-deadline and their big pitcher on the bump now. I think it's a good spot to back him here. And frankly, I put an irresponsible amount of money on it.
I didn't put irresponsible money. I did put money on the Mets, however. And I don't like the spot for Foster Griffin. I got to be honest. When I'm unpacking this guy, we've talked about this guy all year. He's been elite. I mean, without question. But he didn't pitch in MLB for 3 years. He found comfortability with the Nats. Then they trade him. I love the trade for the Nats. They got great return. Clearly, it was the sell high point in the market. But now he's got to go to Cleveland. It's not Washington, D.C. It's also a different league, different clubhouse, different manager. So I think this is uncomfortable for this guy. Not only that, I was going through his starts, and he's only had a couple really bad starts this year. Both of them were road starts at Central opponents on Thursday afternoon. What is this, guys? It's Thursday afternoon. It's now a Central team he plays for. He got shelled at Pittsburgh on this particular calendar type of date, and he got absolutely rocked in the state of Ohio on a Thursday afternoon at Cincinnati and Chase Burns, giving up 5 to 7 earned runs in the game. Furthermore, I think the Mets are finding a little momentum here. And I think ultimately some trades may have cleaned the clubhouse a little bit. Soto's on the IL. This guy, Nolan McLean, is an absolute ace. He's been unreal outside of the division on the road. He's only given up 7 earned runs all year in this spot in 41 innings pitched. And final point on this, friendly reminder, guys, Griffin used to pitch in the National League East, and he beat McLean heads up on May 19th. Washington 9, New York Mets 6. Circle on the calendar. Nolan McLean revenge game in this spot. I think it's a tough spot for the Guardians as well. They're closing up a series here this afternoon, and they open up a huge divisional series tomorrow night against the White Sox. All boxes checked for me in this spot. I think the Mets have a small buy. I do love buying McLean on the road in this spot. Mike, we are going to compete on this one this afternoon, but any final remarks?
No, I think it's a great opportunity to take the small favorite in this case here. The New York McLeans are so goddamn good. And now here they are as a dog. And that should be a problem for everybody. But you know what's not a problem? Shouting you guys out in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody here. Public Enemy says Mets Guardians first 5 under 4. JPZ says big, bad, insane black John McClane. Got a little beat to it as well. Shout out to Jay Main in the house. Razor Sharp checking in from the track says share the video. Let everyone know about the show is just a good practice out there. Public Enemy says Reds Athletics over 9.5. And JPZ says, tell me how you really feel. I believe that is in reference to my Mike Trout situation out there. I hope he hears it. And if you guys know Mike Trout, you let him know. I think he's a bitch.
We can just go watch a Sixers game. He sits courtside all the time. We'll just sit right next to him and be like, hey, Mike.
He'll be at like December 8th or whatever. He'll be at the Eagles game, sitting in the front row, and he'll have his stupid little hat on with that stupid look on his face and a stupid looking dumb son of a bitch. Anyways, I digress.
You know, your little discussion here of Mike Trout reminds me of a certain player that I used to really despise in this same type of conversation. When Manny Machado actually left Baltimore and didn't stay on the East Coast, which is the competitive window we're talking about here, and went to San Diego. It's a long time ago, but I remember at the time saying to my friends, I was like, what a bitch. This guy leaves the AL East. He could have signed with the Yankees. He signs with the Padres? Other coast, beach town. This is what Mike Trout is. He's living the life in Southern California. He doesn't care. He does not care. And he's just
if I was gonna parlay him together here by sport, I would have to go with Mike Trout and then parlay him with Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant's more or less the way I feel about that in relation to basketball. That's a non-leader as well. Guy's ring chasing. I think he's a bitch too. So I haven't figured it out for football or basketball, or for football and hockey. So stay tuned for my unfiltered opinion on the other legs of the parlay as we round out all the sports.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the ultimate cop-out in NBA history. Kevin Durant going to the Warriors to title chase. Absolutely outrageous. You know, I got one for you guys on this Thursday. It's the summertime. There's nothing going on. You know who it is for me in terms of uncompetitive basketball to cash checks? Josh Childress. You guys, the mind of the shark is a wild one, guys. Kid played for Arizona, and he was in the NBA. He actually left the NBA to go to Europe because he was getting paid more in Europe. So he said, I don't care about winning in the NBA at all. Just give me a check. And maybe even Cristiano Ronaldo now playing over in Saudi Arabia, cashing like billion-dollar checks. Kylian Mbappe said, absolutely not. I'm staying at PSG. I want to win. And, of course, he ended up going to Real Madrid. But, guys.
Lionel Messi, dude. Lionel Messi going down to Inter Miami. And he scores yesterday. I don't know if you saw that or not. But
two.
Yeah, man. He got my team total over for me in that Inter Miami spot out there. How about this for football? I thought about it for a second. Can I take an entire team? Is it okay for me to put the San Francisco 49ers on the bitch list? I read it. This fucking team couldn't be any more soft. And a couple of years ago, everyone talked about like, oh, they're playing Philadelphia in the, the NFC championship game. And then what's his face gets hurt right away, and everyone's like, oh yeah, if he wasn't hurt, that team is soft as shit, dude. They got I think I saw it yesterday, 21 dudes on the fucking injured list already for training camp. I mean, training camp started like 5 minutes ago. How do you have 21 fucking dudes on the injured list already? That team is soft as shit, man. Put the entire San Francisco 49ers on the scumbag list. How about that?
I'm not surprised you dislike the Niners as an Eagles fan. I mean, it's an arch rival. I mean, I got to say, Deebo Samuel's back with the Niners this year. He won and done with the Commanders. He's back. I like my guy Deebo, a little South Carolina product. He's a gamer, but Shanahan, Purdy, whatever. Let's talk some more baseball, Mike. We're fired up. It's the middle of the summer, guys. We got a small card. Let's keep it moving. Next game on the card, 2:10 in Milwaukee. Brewers-Pirates, game 4 of this series. I had to do a double take when I was looking at this game before. I said, Dustin May, he got traded in the division. Now he's pitching for the Brewers against Braxton Ashcraft. Mike, Milwaukee took care of business the previous 2 games. Can they continue it this afternoon?
I kind of think today is the spot there. Esky Walker says back to baseball, please. Don't worry. We're going to get there. We got the full card.
Mike, shout to Esky Walker for having passion for baseball. This is rare. Most people can't stand baseball. I mean, come on. Anyway.
All right. So listen, I looked at this game here. I'm inclined to back the Pirates. Excuse me. I liked them yesterday with Skeens. And of course, Skeens misses by 1 strike or again, falls below his strikeout prop. So, look, Skeens is probably a bitch too in this case here. Colin Elder says, are they on YouTube? We sure are. You can find us over at the Sports Money Network. And join us over there, my guy. Appreciate you checking in as well. Professor Finesser says, football's back, man. I love it. It is the Hall of Fame game tonight. Take the under in that spot, but take the over here with Braxton Ashcraft. 14-0, this guy, to the over if he allowed no more than 2 runs his last start. I think for 2 reasons you want to get in. First of all, Pirates bats, underperforming. They got new pieces in their arsenal as well. So there's the expectation that this team can kind of close out the top 5 potentially in the NL. But I think it's a bounce back spot, and I like Ashcraft to go fire. I think both these teams can put some runs on the board as well. So not mad at anybody that wants to get involved in the over. Plus you've got 8-mile-an-hour winds pretty much blowing right out the middle. So good spot. Now you got on the other side of things here with the Brewers. I mean, it's your boy, dude. May Day. AK. I don't know. What are you going to do with this one?
Yeah, I trust my guy this afternoon, taking the Brewers here. And, when I was looking at this before, it's not even Dustin May. What it is it's the dynamic between these teams in the division. Pittsburgh is 6-3 heads up in this matchup. They started 6-1. Pittsburgh was not supposed to go 11-1 against the Brewers. This is regression to the mean at its finest, clearest form. Milwaukee's 2-0 last 2, but there's still only 33% win rate in this spot. They're supposed to get back to neutral. I expect them to win every single game the rest of the season against the Pirates. I look at Dustin May here. He pitched 2 times with the Cardinals up against the Pirates. He was decent, not great, but that's not the point. This is the entire team of the Brewers. I think they'll take care of Ashcraft. Ashcraft 1 start this year against the Brewers, home game. Not great. 5 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. 2 home runs against. Bowers and Frelick got him. And, in terms of the psychology of this trade, I like this trade for Dustin May. I think it upticks his quality. You got to remember this guy came up with the Dodgers. He was supposed to be a top-end rotation guy for the champs, basically. He kind of fizzled out, had some injuries. Now he gets traded from really mediocre St. Louis baseball to the best team in the entire sport right now, record-wise. Brewers are number 1. So I think, if anything, this really challenges this guy to get back to where he thought he was going to be years back with the Dodgers. I think he'll pitch reasonably well. But again, I'm more centered on the fact that I think Milwaukee is just a bull market buy the rest of the season to get back to neutral against Pittsburgh. And books agree. Ashcraft was actually favored the last time he faced the Brewers at home. Small. So same thing as last night, same line. You saw Kyle Harrison lay the same figure and win 4-2. Have the Brewers, Mike. Any final comments?
Sure. 71% of the bets and 75% of the cash are on the Brew Crew. That line has gone from minus 132 to minus 120. And if you're looking at Dustin May, let's just take a look at this feller for a second. 429, 333, 400, 500, 600, 333, 250. Those numbers are batting averages against Dustin May. It's a bad day to be in the Cardinals game plan, or the Milwaukee Brewers game plan here. I'm still thinking of May as a Cardinal. Bad day to be a May fan, though.
We will see, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, going to not the South Side. We're going to Wrigleyville this afternoon. Cubs, Blue Jays, 220. That is 120 local. David Peterson against Dylan Cease. This is a rescheduled game, actually a makeup game from June 21st. Talk about a bit of a funky spot. You get the Blue Jays coming across here from the Astros. You get the Cubs scheduled off day off a sweep of the Dodgers, Mike. We oftentimes don't cap the spots in baseball as much as other sports, but it's not a great spot for the Cubs, in my opinion. What do you think?
I'm with you. I agree with you there. I think this is a really good Toronto for a couple of reasons. You know the deal. How about, psychological cap, baby? This team's fired up. They're trying to make a push for the postseason. They continue to eke out wins. And to your point about players or pitchers maybe being a little too hot, I mean, David Peterson's not a fucking ace. And he's been out there doing some ace shit since he got to Chicago. So I think probably I talk about when the tide rolls back off the beach, you see all the busted up bottles and broken, sharp, jagged rocks there on the shoreline. I think that's what we're going to see a little bit today out of David Peterson here. Dylan Cease has been shoving, of all the guys in this bullpen or of this pitching staff for this Toronto team. This is the guy you want to get behind. So I'm down, man. I think this is a good opportunity for us to see why not? Why not? Why can't Toronto have nice things here? It's my AL East team, my AL team in general, but I've been fading them. I've been bearish on them, but listen, I think this is a good opportunity to get in from a batting perspective. The only guy that's got it's Pete Crow Armstrong that's got a ton of success against this guy. But the more they see him, it's a weird anomaly with Dylan Cease, where the more you see him, the more you can see that he is a stud. Pete Crow Armstrong's got 5 at-bats, 2 hits for a 400. Not a huge sample, but then as you start looking at these guys like Michael Busch, he's at a 200. Alex Bregman's at a 188. Ian Happ, he's got 23 at-bats against him. He's an 0-4-3. I mean, the more they see this guy, the more they get beat up by him, and I think it's a great spot for Toronto today.
Completely agreed. Giving you guys Toronto officially. That's our top club in the afternoon for sure. Unless we get there, we got one more game. We'll see what happens with that one. But this is a terrible spot for the Cubs. I mean, it doesn't get much worse. This is the final game of the homestand. As I mentioned, it was supposed to be an off day. It's supposed to be a breather. They just played 6 straight games against the Yankees and the Dodgers. Like, degree of difficulty doesn't get higher, but forget difficulty, emotion. That was a huge, huge series they just had to sweep the Dodgers. After tonight's game, this afternoon, I should say, they traveled to Kansas City to open up a weekend series. So this is just a dead zone spot. And the only other time in the second half of the season you found the Cubs in a funky spot before travel, it was also a Wednesday. This is a Thursday, of course, but it was a matinee on July 22nd against an American League opponent in this line range. They lost 5-1. To the Tigers and Kaiser Montero. And you talk about teams in the AL that have struggled, but maybe have a buy element in them. The Tigers and the Blue Jays are running alongside each other. And Mike, as you said, the Blue Jays have found some momentum here. And we were saying this back in May and June. We were saying at some point, there's a chance the Blue Jays might find something. They're in an elongated slumber off the World Series loss, but they seem to be finding it now. And as you mentioned, you want to back Dylan Cease, and you want to back him on the road, and you want to back him against the National League. He pitched in the National League last year with the Padres. He loves to shove in this spot. Last 29 innings pitched on the road since early June, 0 earned runs, Mike. And you're talking about David Peterson, just final point on this, and this is a great point. The only funky home spot for David Peterson with the Cubs was his first home start after the trade from the Mets, and he got absolutely rocked 17-1 against St. Louis on a Friday afternoon at 2:20, giving up 10 earned runs in the game. He could get absolutely lit this afternoon. I think Toronto will be all over the Cubs this afternoon. Great spot for the Blue Jays. Take them and let's cash. Final afternoon game, 4:10 in Seattle, T-Mobile Park. Tigers-Mariners closing up the season series this afternoon. Framber Valdez at Bryce Miller. We tried to buy the Tigers last night. They came close. Brian Wu just continues to shove it home. Mike, final game of the series and the season between these teams. I think the Tigers push back this afternoon.
Well, before we get there, I have a question for the chat. I'm very curious. Are you allowed to say that your own point is a great point? Or does somebody else have to validate it for you? I'm not sure. Put one in the chat if you agree with me. Somebody else has to validate your point for you to say it's a great point. But I'm just playing around here. But I think that was a great point you made on that Toronto spot. I do think they win by margin. And I think a little reverse run line action makes a lot of sense. But look, you know what I think makes a lot of sense in this game, Shark? The over. Pretty straightforward. Look, it's an 8. Tells you what you need to know. Debbie Elder says, all my points are great. I mean, I think all my points are great too. So I guess maybe you can say your points are great, right? You can validate yourself, I guess.
Listen, for me, this is never about ego. It's just about hierarchy of points and a handicap. Like if I was giving up people a write-up, I would say like we have 5 points. This is the best one. Yeah, okay. Okay.
All right. I get it. In context, I get it. Listen, I think all my points are great too, man. So
that's why I always go lift weights after the show, so my ego just falls into the dirt. There's no ego. It's just objectivity. Come on.
I'll tell you what. I get mad when I leave one of my great points off the table. I come back. I'll circle back. I'll be 2 games later. I'll be like, hey, one more point on that other game there. But listen, I think you take the over in this game. You got Valdez. Exxon Valdez here leaking like a faucet, man, leaking like an oil spill on the Alaskan coastline, this guy. And, on top of that, you're bringing over bats. You're bringing over guys like Taylor Ward. And, listen, there's a lot of guys that can go out there and smack this guy. Taylor Ward, by the way, I know he's in the top position of all the guys on the card today. This fucking guy, for whatever reason, and I think this has to do with the Valdez, Houston, Tigers, but Taylor Ward's got 34 at-bats against this guy and a 441. That is a unbelievable measure of success on a card with considering these guys are wearing different jerseys. 7.5s have moved to 8s. I'm going to take that over in this game here, but I'm also going to look at this guy here. Ward's home run is plus 630. And, he's got none against Valdez here, but then if you back into it and you look at the RBI for this guy, it's plus 225. It's 225, probably because he's in the leadoff position, but I'm going to take the RBI for Taylor Ward as well. Something I don't give out too often. I don't give it out often enough on this show, but play the 225, do 3/4 of a unit on that, do 1/4 of a unit on the home run out there for Taylor Ward as well. I got a sneaky suspicion, especially in a random over spot for Seattle today, that there's a couple ways to get paid.
Yeah, I haven't worn this hat in a while. It certainly doesn't correlate to the shirt color, but the buy hat is engaged. Taking Detroit in this game, and good matchup data. As I said, final game of the year between these teams. Both of these pitchers have faced off against this opponent already, and both caught wins. So let's unpack the numbers. Valdez at home on Friday, June 5th. Detroit 7, Seattle 3 against Wu. What was the line? Seattle on the road was favored minus 130. They're at home at minus 125. Why are they shorter at home? I don't know. And you look at the situation here for Miller. Miller caught a 4-0 win in that series Saturday afternoon, June 6th. Margin, Seattle 4, Detroit nothing. Seattle in that game minus 135. This is shorter at home. So what's going on here? Bryce Miller's inconsistent. He's been a little fluky at home this year. He was platooned at one point with Luis Castillo, who doesn't play for the team anymore. But the center point of this handicap, in my opinion, is Detroit is a bull market team. Mike, when we had that conversation going back about 2 weeks, and you said the Red Sox were the best buy team in the second half, my answer was the Tigers. And it's the same thing. It's a team that was real hot, finished last year flat, started cold this year. They're a bull market. And Framber Valdez, guys, friendly reminder, pitched in the American League West with the Astros since 2018. He loves to pitch against the Mariners. And in his career in this stadium, spanning over 8 starts, he has never given up more than 3 earned runs in any start. And we talk about Framber Valdez. He's very heady. Sometimes he could care less. He cares about beating the Mariners, and he's very comfortable in this ballpark. I think this is a pretty significant edge to Detroit this afternoon. Great spot for the zigzag in this series. Tigers won game 1. Tight one last night. Julio Rodriguez won the game. Actually, a 3-run shot with 2 outs. Outlier-ish run cluster there. Great spot for the Tigers. Take it and let's cash. Mike, any comments or shout to the chat?
Let's keep it rolling. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I see JG says late to the party, laughing his ass off. Hey, Mike Trout, you're a bitch.
That's what we're sitting. We're sitting on the sidelines at the Sixers game. LeBron just missed a dunk. Trout's drinking a beer, and Mike and I are just sitting there talking trash to the local project. But good times. Good times.
Shout out to Debbie Elder says, I hate the Mariners team so much. I kind of do too. I'm kind of in that opinion there where it's like, I'm not a big Mariners fan. Public Enemy likes the under 7.5, and Blue Jays first 5 under is an interesting look there as well. Keep them coming, you guys. Keep sharing them spots. Jay Peasy says the Cubs win and lose in bunches. That's a fair comment.
Yeah, they do. They do. We'll leave it at that, and let's move on to the evening card. Next game of the card, 6:05, opening up evening baseball on this Thursday. Nats Phillies, final game of this series in the division. Miles Mikolas at Christopher Sanchez. Mike, you talk about crazy numbers in the sports of baseball. We're looking at the Phillies laying minus 330 in this game. Is this just an overpriced sale, or is there any access to the Nats in this game?
I think you lay a couple of runs. You know, it's not pretty. Right? I mean, if there's a pitcher that you should be taking the number on, you know, and you know me, I like to get on the other side of these numbers, right? Like you're looking at this saying this guy should be a minus 300. When you put Sanchez in this particular situation, he's 19-0. I think you lay the run line, the minus 1.5, probably. I mean, look, you got to lay 3 to get, or 2.5 to get to plus 108. It's tricky. It's tight, but I still think there's access there. I think probably the better way to do it is to take the under. You know, the one guy I do think has got to be fucking due to step back into the game here. It's got to be Kyle Schwarber as well. You know, and it's bad because I'm saying the under, and it's Mikolas on the side of things here. I just talking in circles at this point here, but Schwarber should go fucking deep tonight. He's done nothing since the home run derby. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's on the side of a milk carton right now. But a lot of excitement, man. Louis Arise is a hit-to-contact guy. He fucking goes yardstick last night. A rare home run for this fella. And look, he's only hitting a 250 against this Mikolas cat here. But I think this team's fired up, man. Phillies and Toronto. 2 spots that I want to have these boys involved with here. But I like Schwarber today as well. So lay the run line with the Phillies. Get involved in the Schwarber business. I told you 19-0. It is 6-11 to the under. So maybe the first 5, it's dangerous. The first 5 team total under when we do so often with the Nationals take that first 5 team total over. But I think there's a couple ways to get paid in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about an over, like just a numerical spot here. You rarely ever see Christopher Sanchez in the range of 9. I think they're just speaking blowout. I think it's going to be Phillies by 5+ runs, and they might tag Mikolas in the bullpen. We've talked about this before. The Nats bullpen is absolutely abysmal. So I think you could see an over in this game. That would be the best look for me in this game. I think it's a stinky over. I think it's just let the line tell you the story. Sanchez and a 9? Really? And Mike, the run line is actually sitting at 2.5 in a lot of books now too. Is that what you're talking about? Minus 2.5?
No, I would just lay the 1.5. I mean, it's listen to my enthusiasm about it. You guys know I don't like to lay runs and odds here, but what do you got? Minus 150. Nah, minus 150. Yeah, lay the 2.5.
Yeah,
I'll probably lay the 2.5. You know what I think you do? I think you parlay the Phillies with Schwarber to get an RBI. As crazy as ugly as that sounds. Probably a yes run first inning in this game too. I mean, it's a 6:05 start, so I got to take a little bit more time to look into it. But I think this is one of those games. Especially, I want to fire on Mikolas, man. That guy's a bum. Seems like a good opportunity to get paid. I'm just looking here. The first, I'm going to place this bet right now. So I don't want to think about it too much. The first 5 team total under 1.5 for the Nationals minus 135. That's my access point right now at time of this show. So that's going to be an official play.
All right, we'll leave it at that, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, 7:10. Going back to Boston, Fenway Park. White Sox, Red Sox, Game 3, final game of the series. And really interesting dynamic here. You get Luis Castillo on the bump for the White Sox. First start with the White Sox against Ranger Suarez. Mike, this line is really a heavy, heavy Boston line. This team is scorching hot. They have clearly found something. It seems to be sustainable. They have owned the White Sox this year. Do you think they blow out the White Sox again tonight?
Yeah, so I got a special little trend for you guys here today, and it's going to exist again tomorrow. So get the pens out, pens or pencils, whatever it is. I would use a pen. You want to circle this, and you don't want to forget it come tomorrow as well, because if it does present itself today, it will show up again tomorrow. I'll give you the scenario, and then Shrek, you tell me if you can figure out who it is tomorrow. White Sox, Red Sox, new pitcher coming in as a road dog. Big dog, too, by the way. In other words, they're playing a big home favorite for the first time on their new squad. Them boys are 1-15. 1-15. Now, that means today we fade Luis Castillo. We go with Ranger Suarez and this Boston Red Sox team. But you look at the number and you say, how do you get access? Well, the access comes in because you look at the margin. They're winning those games by almost 4 runs. New pitcher gets cooked as a big road dog. And they're 4-12 on the run line. And they're losing the run line by almost 2 runs a game. So, yeah, maybe Philly-Boston parlay. Maybe that's the square shit take of the day, but that sounds like a really good way to fire here. Run line on both of them as well. Minus 1.5 on both of them. In fact, if you look at Philly and Boston parlayed, it's plus 102. It's a great way to access those. We got there. But keep it in mind, and now I ask you, who's the team tomorrow?
In the context of a new pitcher?
New pitcher, big road dog.
I'd have to look. I didn't look at tomorrow. I'm very much centered in the moment here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Let me glance for a second. Jose Soriano.
There you go. Bing, bing, bing. It didn't take you very long, dude.
Bang. We know things around here.
So tomorrow is a big spot for Zach Wheeler. Wheels up, baby. But let's keep an eye on it and see how it does today. So there should be some margin out there. 1-15. Just a profit center and then some to fade the new. This is the deal. New team pitcher on the road. Big dog. Big dog is defined by over 155, right? I mean, that's a pretty big dog, right? If you're coming in there at like a 160 or higher, you're a pretty big dog. And the big dog gets bitten in those spots. So keep that in mind for tomorrow's games as well. But today we're going to look at this Red Sox. I thought that was pretty compelling. What do you think about that? How do you dissect that? What do you make of that? That you're getting busted up on your new squad as a road dog?
I think very specifically, you don't get traded unless you're maybe not as great as you once were. So oftentimes you get these pitchers. Luis Castillo is really a great example of that. You know, this guy going back 3 or 4 years coming from the trade with Cincinnati was kind of a blue chip pitcher. I mean, he had a ton of spin. He releases the ball kind of on a side angle with an overspin coming towards the hitters. But he's not what he once was. So I think that's really what it is. If you get traded, clearly something's wrong with you most of the time. We will see, of course, this afternoon with Foster Griffin. But, yeah, that's what I would say. And also, you look at this particular spot, just zooming into it. Castillo did face the Red Sox pitching with the Mariners, and he did get hit hard and lose by margin. So I agree. I think the Red Sox, crazily enough, I mean, this team looks absolutely fantastic right now in all capacities of the game, too. Their staff is deep and great. The lineup is hitting on all cylinders. The manager's connecting with the group. Everybody's really on it. And this is just not a White Sox spot. So I agree. Red Sox get the sweep tonight. And let's keep it moving. A couple more games on the evening card here. 7:15 divisional baseball. Marlins Braves closing up a series tonight in Atlanta. Jansen Junk at Martin Perez. Tried to give you guys Yuri Perez last night. He had one bad inning. Ended up losing 4-1. We'll leave that yesterday. We're here today, Mike. Can the Marlins finally get one against the Braves?
No, I gave you guys the Braves yesterday. I gave you the Braves the day before. I'm going to give you the Braves again today. And today, it's Martin Perez night, man. Let's go, baby. Look at this guy. 7 monster innings last game, right? 7 shutout innings. 1 hit allowed. Now, generally, I like to fade pitchers after their best start of the season. Martin Perez, however, allowed no more than 2 earned runs his last start as at least a small favorite. He's 8-0. He fires. And they're going to fire again today, man. Take this Atlanta Braves team. I don't know why this pricing is so squirrely. To me, it's like, what are we doing here? The Braves beat the snot out of the Marlins. They own them. It's the big brother, little sister syndrome out there. And you're pulling her hair. She might like it later in life, but they don't like it when they're young. That's for sure. Take the Braves.
Yeah, I didn't know I was becoming a little sister on this Thursday. Maybe I'll go play in the WNBA and dunk on some people, but the ball hat is engaged. We're going to this, Mike. You're kind of leading me into it, talking about the squirreliness of this line. It is very. What'd you say?
They've been squirrely all week, though.
I know.
I mean, literally.
I'm just staying the course. I mean, I got a big bankroll, and ultimately in baseball, you get 162. I posted before on my recap from yesterday. There's over 2,400 games played in this sport every year. So, guys, just remember that when you lose a unit or two, this is not like football. Units are not created equally in all sports. This is a wide sample. So you just stay the course, and I think you're going to get a good effort from Junk, actually. Junk situationally this year on the road, not a lot of road starts, actually. He has underperformed at the American League specifically. He's gotten rocked at Houston, 6 earned runs. He got rocked at Detroit, 4 earned runs. And he was really inflated at Toronto. But only 2 starts on the road at National League opponents. He pitched great at the LA Dodgers, beat the Dodgers 1-0, 2-1, excuse me, back on Tuesday night, April 28th. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 runs. And his only divisional road start this year, last Friday at the Mets, 5-2 win. 5 innings pitched, 0 runs. He's given up 0 runs on the road this year at National League opponents. Talk about a revenge game and a circle on the calendar. Mike, this guy Jansen Junk is a gamer. Let's go a little trivia here on this glorious Thursday. So guess what? So Jansen Junk went to Seattle University. Guess what other big dog pitcher in Major League Baseball went to Seattle University? And this is a snapshot too. Like we always talk about, these guys talk a little bit and maybe like upticks this guy's mentality. So Junk, Seattle, and this other pitcher, Seattle. Let's see if you can get it.
Can you give me a hint?
Ex-Cy Young winner.
Ah, man.
Just got traded.
Tarek Skubal?
Yeah.
Skubal? Really?
Skubal. Yeah.
You gave me a couple hints there, so I'll take credit for it, but it wasn't a pretty victory there. But
I honestly found that to be really interesting that Junk and Skubal both went to the same college. They talk.
I didn't realize Seattle had anything more than a college basketball team.
I agree. When you look at college baseball, I mean, some of these small schools that you would never expect to compete have like blue chip guys. Like Jacob deGrom went to Stetson in Central Florida. Chris Sale, Florida Gulf Coast. Like these are all your mid-major teams in college basketball that you see like in the first round of the tournament, or like the Bahamas Classic in Thanksgiving, like getting their ass kicked by Duke. Like these are the teams that have these blue chip pitchers. Anyway, Junk.
For what's worth, by the way, didn't Seattle basketball have like a 14-game cover spread last year? They had like a 14-game streak where they covered the fucking spread every single time. It was either they were covering it or they were blowing it. There was a streak with Seattle last year. Circle that one for your college. Look at this. We're talking NFL. We got college basketball, college baseball. Who knew today was going to be such an exciting show?
Part of the reason Mike and I like to have some beers on occasion or glasses of wine is because we can sit down at the bar and talk sports for like 24 straight hours. We love the knowledge. It's power. Knowledge is power, but it's also, for me, it's just interesting. It's entertaining. I like to know this stuff. Like Junk and Skubal went to the same college. So clearly there's, you know that Junk looks up to Skubal, and he has a higher level of achievement in his mental arsenal due to that fact. I think it's great stuff, but I think he'll bounce back because he did get rocked against Atlanta in his only start in a home game on Wednesday, May 20th. He gave out 8 earned runs in the game. It was his worst start of the year. So this is the new thing on the show. I take my pencil and I circle the calendar. Junk has revenge in his mind tonight. And the Marlins have lost 5 straight to the Braves, and the line is shortening up. So, again, it's baseball. Yes, it could lose. That's why you manage your bankroll, but this is a sharp spot in my opinion. The buy hat is engaged. Take the Marlins and let's cash. My couple more games here late night. 7:30, this is ESPN National, believe it or not. Twins Royals. The under 500 mediocre teams from the Central getting national exposure tonight. Kauffman Stadium, Bailey Ober at Michael Wacha. Mike, the final game of the season between these teams, actually. What's going on here tonight?
Absolutely, we'll dig into it, you guys. But if you haven't done so already, Shark, it's your favorite time, man. It's backdoor time, baby. Come on. You guys haven't done it already. You can backdoor the show with a thumbs up button.
Appreciation is appreciated. If you guys didn't click the like yet, guys, here's your backdoor. Step back jumper in the lane. Hit the shot. Click the like. Let's go. Anyway, going back to Kauffman Stadium here. Our guy in the chat says Royals money line. Professor the Finesser. Also with a Steph Curry shot, it looks like, Mike. What's going on here tonight in Kansas City?
Looks like a little Steph Curry shot there. Nice court, nice tie-in, Shark. I don't know if you were anticipating that or that just came out. It just came organically and natural here. But
yeah,
man, I'll tell you. Yesterday, I was on these boys, and I ate it. I ate the big one in that one. I'm gonna go back to the. I can't believe I'm gonna fucking say it, dude. I'm gonna go back to the Twins again. You know, Uber against shit teams this year, he's been feasting on them. He's 7-1 against teams that are below 500. You're trying to avoid the sweep on top of it. I mean, Walker's 5-8 with a 3.5 ERA. So Uber's not any prize, but he does get wins. They do win behind this guy. So it's just my frustration with this Minnesota Twins team is why I'm just not so jacked up about this game. Here's what I will say, though. Here's what I like about the Twins. If you want like a statistical reason behind it in Uber, besides the 7-1, he does lock down lefties more so than righties. I mean, he's got a 225 batting average allowed against lefties. Why is that important? Because the Kansas City team is predominantly stuffed with lefties. They got like 6 of them out there, and Isaac Collins is a switch hitter. So, the big bats, Jack Caglione, we know what he did out there with the home run derby. Michael Massey, lefty. John Rave. There's just too many. Carter Jensen. You got too many lefties in this lineup to fight, Uber. So I'll take the Twins.
I can't get there. I'm going back to the Royals. We're making it royal again here tonight. And, as I said, this is the final game between these teams this year. So peak level of information. Kansas City just dominates the Twins. They're 8-4. I'm convinced. They're 2-0 this series. I told you guys last night Noah Cameron was going to shove. He did. The Twins only had 2 hits in the game. And, Mike, we talk about, group psychology day after day on this show. I think the Twins have bottom 5 group psychology in Major League Baseball. I don't like the manager at all. Derek Shelton, he used to be the manager for the Pirates. Talk about just like a stopgap, recycled type of coach. Not a jolt at all. Joe Ryan is now on the injured list. They gutted the team last year at the deadline. Their biggest prospects never came to fruition. Royce Lewis, I believe he was a top 3 pick. Just not even close to the projection. This team stinks. They're just flat out bad. And I think this really is a circle on the calendar spot for Kansas City. They rarely ever get national games on ESPN. And Michael Wacha, mid-30s pitcher, he's been around. He's a competitor. Revenge game. He did take a loss at Minnesota on a Friday night in June the 5th to Zebby Matthews. He wasn't very good in the game. He was an underdog, however. Books think he will win here as a favorite. Why? This guy's great at home in the division. 3-0 in home divisional starts. Only 2 earned runs in 22 innings pitched. And you go to the other side of this, talking Bailey Ober here. He was on the receiving side of that win last week or the week before at home against Kansas City, a game he was down 3-0 the entire game. And Cody Clemens hit a walk-off grand slam. Ober is worse on the road. Wacha will be ready to go. And in my opinion, This is like a Super Bowl game for the Royals. It's the last game in the division. You get a revenge game. It's national. Patrick Mahomes might be in the stands. Honestly, ESPN is so kind of ridiculous. They might pay Mahomes to show up to this game tonight, Mike. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, what's the prop for Mahomes to be at this game tonight? Like plus 1,000, plus 5,000.
I'll tell you what, Mahomes looks like shit in training camp is the word on the street. So coming back from the injury here, they might be a big old fade this year. Who knows?
Yeah, no,
I would say 50,000. 50,000 to 1. Mahomes is in the stands. Well, that might be a little aggressive because they are in training camp, so they are in Kansas City.
Plus 5,000. Because I think he actually has a part ownership stake in the team, too.
For the Royals?
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
And so part owner, training camp, and ESPN, like they pay Taylor Swift to go to games for sure. Like they're like, this is a bum game. Like it's on national TV. I guarantee you there's a conversation. Somebody from ESPN called Mahomes like, hey, dude, could you get into the stadium tonight, sit in the front row so we can get a little audio, video bite on it? I bet he's there. Guys, little prop action here. We're on fire here on this Thursday, Mike. Let's keep it moving. Final game of the card, 9:40. Padres Diamondbacks finishing up a series. Divisional baseball in the NL West. Walker Buehler at K. Drake, whatever his name is. It's not Kenyon Drake, the running back. He's just a pitcher on the Diamondbacks. Anyway, Mike, I've been nowhere near this series. Kind of a difficult one for me. Do you have anything in this one to close the card?
Man, I'll tell you, it was such a pretty looking spot too there yesterday. The line was moving in their direction. I got him the first day. I took him again yesterday, and I took the L in that spot out there. So it is a tricky spot, man. It is a tricky series on top of that here. I just think the Padres are supposed to be stepping up right now. And just because they're supposed to doesn't mean they will, obviously. But Cole Drake, dude, you know what I want in this game is the over. Walker Buehler's an over as well. In this position for Walker Buehler, this guy right now, 16-1. He's on the road. Team's off a loss and an over. So the game went over. Team lost. Walker Buehler comes up to the bump and they puke up runs. So I'll take the over. Give me the over in this game.
Yeah, as I said, this is not my series. I have no interest in it. Great 57 minutes, Mike. And we got best bets.
We sure do. And we got a video for him too. I'm going to give you guys the over in Seattle, the over 8. I'm going to give you the Blue Jays. I think we're both collabing on the Blue Jays there. I like that spot. I'm going to take that Nationals team total first 5 team total under 1.5. And I'm going to take the over 8.5 in the San Diego game. So that's Toronto, Seattle over 8. Washington first 5 team total under 1.5, and the Arizona over 8.5.
All right, I'll give you guys a bunch of stuff. We're going with the Mets at plus 120. Collab with Mike, Blue Jays. Taking the Tigers, the buy hat is engaged, plus 117. Taking the Marlins, plus 133. And the Royals, minus 117. A lot of stuff, great stuff. Mike, parlay or skip it for today? What do you think?
I don't think so. We kind of got everything covered here. We nailed a bunch of these. We literally have a play on every game out there. I'll give you one more, too. Give me that who was that RBI there that I was writing down? Why can't I remember his name right offhand here? I got to go play it right now, too. I liked Schwarber, but Taylor Ward. That's who it was. Taylor Ward. Taylor Ward, I'll give you the RBI there for Taylor Ward at plus 225. That's a big swing, but I think we got every game nailed down here, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's it pretty much. Give me some words and I'll close it out.
Good stuff, man. We are there, you guys. A little fun today, a little shorter card, and obviously football in the air. So we appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us jabber here, man. I'm excited. Public Enemy says Taylor Ward. Thank you. Brian Smith says Angels get bases loaded, no out, and the next 2 batters strike out. Nasty Nate says the Red Sox are going to smash that like button if you guys haven't done so already, and stay tuned for more on the World of Sports Money Network. We got all kinds of things popping up, man. New shows coming up. We got best bet videos, pick 5 videos out there. We got home run props, parlays, you name it. You find it right here at the Sports Money Network.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Just a fast hour, 11 games, a lot of official plays. Great stuff. We appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat. If you have not commented in the chat during the workday, please drop a comment underneath the show after the fact. It helps to bring conversation to the internet and also spread the show to people who have not found it yet. We know there's a lot of baseball shows, a lot of people that would truly enjoy the energy that Mike and I bring to baseball that is honestly not found within this sport across the internet. And that is no shade to anybody else, but it is our level of energy. We love to bring it, and we hope you guys can help us out spreading this content. That is it for this one, guys. We're going to have a great show tomorrow as well. Huge series opening tomorrow night on Friday. As Mike said, Jose Soriano debuting for the Blue Jays, and a lot of stuff going on. Guys, always manage your bankroll. As our guy said, Angels, bases loaded, don't score. You're supposed to score 2.3 runs there, by the way, statistically. Base loaded, nobody out. Projection 2.3. So baseball, there's variance. Manage your bankroll. We will see you guys tomorrow. That is MLB Bases Loaded, the Thursday edition, August the 6th, 2026. For Mike, I'm the Shark. Stay fast, stay strong, stay disciplined, and let's dominate.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.